more than news you can use. It's news that could save your life. That's Monday at 9:05 a.m.
All right, 12 minutes before 8 o'clock. Thank you for tuning in. Looks a little bit overcast, if you ask me. Let me see what the temperature is here at the studios. It's Friday, I know that. I don't have to look on anything on the internet to tell me it's Friday. It is 71 degrees, and yes, there is rain in the forecast for today. High temperatures in the mid-90s. Actually, looks like a partly cloudy weekend. Really no mention of rain except for today until Tuesday. And so we'll see. But I would predict rain every day if I were a weatherman right about this time of year. I would say, yeah, it's probably going to be rain today. Probably going to be a little bit somewhere out there. But they get paid more money than those words. So they gotta get more detail.
For sure.
All right. So let's see. What should we do first? Should we do the ice cream truck thing last?
Okay.
So we'll do the more serious, more political thing. Housing regulations aimed at diversifying wealthy neighborhoods, which some people are calling executive overreach for the purpose of establishing a utopia, are expected to be released by the Obama administration this month sometime. The Department of Housing and Urban Development will release the rules with the aim of ending segregation in neighborhoods around the country. Housing and Urban Development plans to offer grant money to communities willing to build affordable housing within affluent neighborhoods. Why would they do that?
I know. He's the goofy.
That is crazy.
House prices will plummet. People will buy where they want to buy. They're not going to be forced to live somewhere.
You live again.
Oh my gosh.
On the other side, the federal agency will also give money to the poorer neighborhoods to improve those communities through better schools, parks, libraries, and grocery stores. Oh, I'm okay with that one.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that. Just fix up the blighted neighborhoods. That's a great thing. But to take neighborhoods that are pristine and insist that the people who may not take care of their homes live there.
Yes.
Live there. That's the whole reason those people live there.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
The regulations are a continuation of a rule made by the Obama administration in 2013 in which Housing and Urban Development started gathering data about diversity in neighborhoods around the country for the purpose of making such policy changes. The new regulation has its share of critics, including us.
Yeah.
Arizona Republican Representative Paul Gosar, who is working to block the rules, said the Obama administration, quote, shouldn't be holding hostage grant monies aimed at community improvement based on its unrealistic utopian ideas of what every community should resemble, unquote. He goes on to say, American citizens and communities should be free to choose where they would like to live and not be subject to federal neighborhood engineering at the behest of an overreaching federal government.
Exactly. We're a republic, not a communistic society.
The Heritage Foundation's Hans von Spakovsky said the rule is too race conscious. I don't think it's a race thing.
No, it's not.
You might be seeing it as such. But come on. Have you ever been to Bel Air? No, most people haven't, but
yeah.
There's no racial divide in Bel Air. It's probably one of the most exclusive neighborhoods in the country.
Exactly.
There is a divide, though, between the haves and the have-nots.
Exactly. That's it.
That's the divide.
The haves and the have-nots. It's not racial.
Yeah. So I don't know.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know what they're thinking.
I know.
Anyway, so there you go. All right. Well, if you live in the neighborhood, you might want to have an ice cream truck coming down your road. This is a better story.
There you go. It is. Better story.
Did you have a favorite ice cream truck when you were a kid? Do you remember the brand name?
Mr. Frosty.
Mr. Frosty?
That was the ice cream truck. He came at 9 o'clock every night.
Really? You even remember the time?
Yeah, right down. I mean, we had to save our pennies. We put on shows for the people in our neighborhood just so, we charge admission of a nickel or something, and we put on shows and stuff in the backyard, and then we'd save up enough money to get ice cream. There were like 10 of us.
You're in show business when you were a kid.
Well, we had to think of some way to make money.
I was a showbiz kid too. I always wanted to do little plays and come out from behind the curtains.
Yeah, your mom said you did that. You had curtains and everything.
So wow, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, so it's Mr. Frosty, and that was such a great truck.
Mr. Frosty.
What was your ice cream truck's name?
Good Humor. We had the Good Humor man.
Nice.
And what did you say to make him stop?
we would just run out in the street and he'd stop. We didn't say anything.
Oh, you didn't say, whoa!
No, we went in there and just was waving
Well, hey!
our little, our hands because he knew we had money in there, and we just.
Or ice
ran out
cream
in the
man!
Yeah, well, he knew everybody, so.
That was the name of the ice cream truck that you had in your neighborhood when you were a kid. Do you remember? It could have been Good Humor Man. It
Yes.
could have been Mr. Frosty, or it could have been Mr. Softy. There was a Mr. Softy ice
I
cream
think
too.
it was Mr. Soft.
Mr. Softy.
Yes.
Yeah.
There you go.
I always wanted to be Mr. Softy. Just have an ice cream truck, drive around the neighborhood. Ring. Did the ice cream man in your neighborhood ring a bell, or was it a musical thing?
It was musical, but then he rang the bell. I mean, we all knew he was coming.
And
he all
the
knew
bells were like over on the mirror or something,
I don't know where they
or
were.
outside the mirror, or whatever. He'd pull a string.
I don't know. I didn't see that. I just heard it.
Did he have a change device on his belt?
I don't know if he did or not. He was in the truck. He never came outside of the truck.
Oh.
He was in the truck.
Oh,
And he
that
had a
okay.
window,
I'm picturing it now. One of those kind of trucks.
Yeah, and he had a window, and they had all the ice, like you go to Daytona Beach, and you
Gotcha.
have the truck, and you got all
Yeah.
the flavors on the side.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
See, the Good Humor Man truck was not that way.
Oh.
The Good Humor Man had to get out of the truck and actually open up the refrigerated compartment.
Oh, how cool.
Or the freezer compartment, I guess.
How cool is
And
that?
he had on his belt one of those change things with the
Yeah, like
pennies,
bus drivers.
pennies,
yeah.
nickels, dimes, and quarters. Yeah.
Nice. How exciting. And what did you guys do to make him stop?
Whoa! You say whoa?
Aw. Well, I bet he knew you guys.
I got a free ice cream one time. I told him, "Hey, you dropped one and it rolled under the truck. It was one of those cups. You know how they have the cups of ice cream."
Oh, yeah, those are good, too.
So he said, "Oh, thank you." And I was just a little boy, a little kid, and he gave me a free one.
Aw, isn't that nice?
So anyway, I have some ice cream truck trivia for you. But first, let's go to the
Nice.
phone. Good morning. You're on the air.
I'd much rather talk about ice cream,
Me too.
but that last story about Obama centrally planning neighborhoods and, taking affirmatively furthering fair housing to the most ridiculous level possible. But
It is crazy.
So I guess I'm sure that when the Obamas leave the White House, they'll be living next to people who choose not to maintain their property.
Oh, sure, they'll be there.
Right.
Can I step forward and say I'm sure they're going to be living right next door to either a dilapidated house or in a neighborhood that has people who opt not to what. So here's another question. So what do you do then? You say, well, then some people don't have to abide by, let's say, HOA guidelines, or, here it is again. It's like right out of a Dickens novel. The Department of Circumlocution, Little Dorrit, and everything else. So, okay, let's get back to ice cream.
Ice cream.
Yay.
But just to add something to what you're saying, what it means is that the Beverly Hillbillies will be able to keep that shack in the backyard.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well,
Exactly.
and let me tell you something. The Beverly Hillbillies place will look like, a dream house compared to other things going on. And again, it's just a total overreach of the federal government and allowing people who have no respect for themselves or others to, if that actually comes to pass, yeah. So, when's the next shuttle to Mars? Put me on it.
Thank you, Lauren. I was surprised nobody called in about that. To me, I was thinking that was going to get the phone ringing. I'm glad you called in. Thank you, Lauren. Appreciate that.
Yeah, well, what we should do then is construct some shacks on the front lawn of the White House, and that way he can,
Well, here's
demonstrate to the people he's actually doing that right now.
But here's the thing that you need to illustrate to anybody who's thinking about giving this the go-ahead or arguing for it.
Yeah.
Where do you draw the line?
Yeah.
Do you draw the line at a shack? Do you draw the line at a mobile home?
Yep.
I mean,
Or
where do you
tent.
draw the line? What price do you say, no, that one's not allowed? See, as soon as you say you can't have neighborhoods that are, it's not fair to have one block with a $4 million home and right next to it only another $4 million home. That's not fair.
Right.
It's to say, okay, if you're making a rule that says you can't have that you have to have a more affordable home, I should say. Well, what's the cutoff number?
Exactly.
Where do you stay? Should it be a $400,000 home, or could it be a $40,000 home, or could it be a $500 trailer?
Exactly. Or a tent.
Could it be a tent?
With
yes.
a box.
Yeah. It's not fair to the tent dwellers.
Exactly.
They won't be able to live in Bel Air, but now they will.
And now, that's going to throw gated communities out the window because they have their own rules, so there won't be any more gated communities anymore.
You remember the Jeffersons? They didn't have much in the TV sitcom. I know it's a TV sitcom, but there's a reason to bring them up. And then they were moving on up.
Right, exactly.
So they reached the American dream. They worked for their money, and now they can live someplace better.
That's right.
So what are you going to do? Make every place the same, so there is no place better? There's nothing to strive for?
That's right.
When you said communism before, you were right on target, Robin.
That's right.
Well,
thank you.
The way we do the show is we have several things planned, and if nobody calls in about that, we move on to something else. So I was thinking, what do I know nobody's calling in about the...
Yeah,
the
Lauren did.
Lauren did, so...
But you brought fond memories back for people with ice cream trucks when they were younger.
Well, we're limited with time, and I wanted to squeeze... But there is this history of ice cream trucks. Tomorrow, I think tomorrow is the day, the National Ice Cream Truck Celebration Day or something, which is why I brought it up. So
nice.
Flag Day is Sunday. Today is, what did I say today? Is give somebody a rose day? Give somebody a beef jerky day?
And a peanut butter cookie day.
Yeah. Make it
and a loving day.
Yes, loving day. Give somebody a loving rose.
With a jerky.
We'll be right back.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
Fox News Radio, I'm Lillian Wu. The hacking of government employees may be much wider than first reported, according to an employees union.
J. David Cox is the president of the American